nugget number one is to get your base. The second thing is I'd like you to think about streams of income. Third nugget that I teach about is alternative investing.
Hi guys, this is Vinney Chopra with Apartment Syndication Made Easy, Abundance Mindset, and also motivational talk. Hi guys, this is Vinney back again. I hope you're excited about all the content you're getting from my team and myself. My Abundance Mindset show, which is live every week, Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon, with my co-host Walter Amarillo from Tampa, Florida. Then Vinny and Bo show, my co-host Bo from Las Vegas, and myself on Friday, every Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific. I just am signed up today, a new show, which is going to be syndicated show on Wednesdays at 8 a.m. Well, actually, it'll be featured. We record in the morning, but then it'll be going out streaming all over the world, actually, at 4 p.m. Pacific. That's on the youth, because I'm really, really empowering. I had big mindset how to really affect the youth of USA, and it's going to come into fruition. Today, we got a great guest, Camilla Jeffs is in. She's going to hang around with me, and I want to tell you a little bit about Camilla. Hi, Camilla. How are you?
Hey, Vinney, I'm so great. So excited to be here.
Oh, thank you. I am too. We're going to have really great show together. And the best thing is that you are right there in Texas. What part of Texas? I know I was in Houston, San Antonio, Austin, Dallas. I was there 3 months back in Dallas also.
Yes,
So,
I'm in the North Dallas area.
oh, you are
Right.
Frisco, Colony.
Yeah, keep going north of Frisco.
Oh, Sherman. Sherman. Oh,
Very
Sherman.
close to Sherman. Yes, very
Oh
close
my
to Sherman.
gosh. Somebody told me about 2,200 acres of land while I was there in Dallas, and we're still talking and all. They want me to build an assisted living over there. And
Ah,
that's interesting. Yeah, it just came to
mhm.
me as you were talking. But I would love to share with our audience. Hey, guys, everybody listening and watching, Camila Jeffs is the founder and CEO of Steady Stream Investments, an educational company. She loves to teach and give herself paying forward to really teach all different principles in financial and everything. I add passive income streams to their lives via apartment group investing, which is syndication, which I do also. Camila is a general partner in over 1,500 multifamily units, wonderful, and 65 bed assisted living community. So we're going to dig into that too, because in addition to her 20 years of experience investing in real estate, she holds an MBA. Me too, from George Washington, and are known as an innovative HR leader for tech companies. So she's many faceted lady. And Camilla is the host of the Quiet Wealth podcast and has started 4 successful businesses. So she's the mother of 5 amazing children and loves to play soccer and tennis and raise farm animals. So welcome, Camilla. Yeah,
Thank you.
tell us
Thank
a little
you.
bit. So did you grow up in Texas itself, or how?
No, no. I was actually, my father was in the military. I was born in Frankfurt, Germany,
Okay.
because he was in the military there. And so I kind of grew up all over. I've lived in 6 or 7 different states. And even in my adult years, my husband and I, we like to move a lot. And so we move around a lot and we bring our kids all over, and they've lived in lots of different states, but we've been here in Texas for 3 years. That's kind of long for us.
Wow, wow. And you said animals too. I just saw. So you have a
Mhm.
farm there then? Probably,
We
right?
do. We do. We have a little, it's a little mini hobby farm, but it's so fun. We have little, we have mini animals. We have mini goats, we have mini pigs, we have mini chickens,
Oh, wow.
and they're very fun. And we are big Disney fans, so we name them all after Disney characters.
Oh, wow.
So our pigs are Jack, Jack, and Edna from The
Mm.
Incredibles. And we have a goat named Bing Bong from Inside Out. So it's really fun.
Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. It's so much fun. I know our kids have grown up, Neil and Monica, but yours are kind of young, possibly, right? Yeah, at home. Yeah.
Yeah, they're well, mostly teenagers now.
Oh,
So
okay. Oh,
I'm
wow.
hitting the,
Wow.
and we're in the teenage phase. And honestly, I love it. I think I know it's weird for most parents to say that, but I love the
Oh, why
teenagers.
not? Yeah, no, we love our son coming every weekend, for dinners and all. And Monica lives in the city, so she's a little far away. But let's get into, so how are you empowering, giving so much to, your, let's say your followers, let's say that,
Mhm.
and you're enriching their lives, talking about streams of income. How did you get into that business?
Yeah, well, that's a really great question. So when I've always been fascinated by finance and investing. So let's go way back, right? I got married very young and had babies young also. And I got to the point where so I had my first child and I was working, and then I had twins. And I
Mm,
was like, now I had three kids under the age of three. And I was like, this is not sustainable to continue to work and pay for daycare. Like I couldn't get a job that was good enough to be able to afford that. So I became the at-home caretaker for the children. But I was frustrated a little bit in that role. Like I loved it, absolutely loved my babies, but I was also frustrated that I wasn't contributing as much to the family finances that I really wanted to. So I was trying to figure out ways to do it, and I stumbled upon a blog that said become the CFO of your family, right? Become
uh-huh.
the CFO of your family. A family is kind of a little mini business that has to be run. And I love that concept. I'm like, okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that on, right? My husband is going to go out. He's going to generate the income,
Mm,
but that's only one piece
yeah,
of a full financial plan, right?
true.
There are so many other pieces. And that's when I was like, okay, I'm going to apply myself and figure this out. So I started reading books about investing and finance and budgeting and, all the things about money to figure it out. And I quickly decided that real estate would be a great avenue for
Mm,
us,
mhm,
just because it was something I could touch and paint and
mm,
make pretty, right?
uh-huh.
So
Yep.
I wanted to do real estate, and so fast forward 20 years, right? I've done a lot of real estate investing, did a lot of single family investing,
Mhm,
pivoted into large multifamily group investing, and one of the things that I noticed is there's a really big gap in women investors in that space. And I went to conferences. I remember my first conference I went to for about multifamily investing. And there was 1,000 people there, and maybe 25 of them were women. And I was just aghast. Like, oh, I feel
mm,
very uncomfortable.
yeah.
And so right then I was like, okay, I was looking around for mentors and for other women who had done this.
Yep.
And one of the things that I live by in my life is, become the person you want to admire, right?
Yes.
Like, it's so
Yep.
basically, I decided, well, I think I need to be the trailblazer, right? I need to be the one with the machete that cuts
Yep.
down the big trees
Yep.
so that people can follow along, and I'll take the hits, I'll get the bruises, and it'll be okay, so that I can kind of clear a path and make the path at least a little bit easier for women walking behind me.
Yep.
And I have four daughters, and I'm just really passionate about like clearing the way for them too.
Yep. Yep.
And so that's what I'm all about, is helping women become very intelligent investors,
I love
and financially literate as well.
it.
And so making sure that we normalize money conversations,
Yes.
because they're not always normal in women's circles.
Mhm. So true, so true. So in your so many years of doing it, what are maybe some factors you think in the education side that are prime to really talk to women, all ages, right? So
Hmm.
what comes
Hmm.
to your mind, like how I'm sure there are so many facets, right? So where do you start and how do you take them from point A to point B to C to D? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what you have to understand, there's some extra financial challenges for women. In fact, I just recorded a podcast episode on my podcast today that was talking about the longevity
Mhm.
of women,
Mhm.
because on average, women live longer than men, right? By 5
Yep.
years in the US, 7 years worldwide. Um,
Yep.
and so that creates, more time, and
Mhm.
women, so essentially women need more money in order
Mhm.
to last longer, right? Because they're going
Correct.
to live longer.
Yep.
Now you layer on that with the challenge of career breaks, like me, right? I had a career break. And
Mm.
so I didn't have as much time to generate as much income. And so by the time you get to your 40s and 50s, typically women are making less than men.
Yeah.
And then there's the gender pay gap also that we have to work on. And a lot of my work in HR and tech was to make sure we had equal pay for equal work, and really be an advocate for that. And so there's just extra challenges, and then as you age, you have more healthcare costs, and you have to do long-term planning. And so one
Mhm.
of the things that I do is I really focus on teaching women in their prime. I call it prime
Mhm.
time, which is like ages 45 to 65,
Mhm.
where life is shifting, right? Life is shifting to
Yep.
become more about them rather than putting all of their energy into their children. So children are
Yes.
starting to leave.
Mhm.
And now what, right? And then also, did you know, Vinny, that the average age of widowhood is 55?
No
That's
way.
the
No way.
average age.
Oh
That
wow.
means there's women younger than that
Ah, I
losing
know.
their spouses, like, and older, right? But that's an average. And so there's a lot of a big shift. And you and I were at 2 weeks ago, we were at the Core Family Office
Yes.
event
Yes.
together, which was amazing. And they were talking about there's a
Mm.
really big shift in the wealth that's shifting to women as well.
Right.
And one of the key issues is making sure that women are prepared to manage that wealth
Yeah.
in an intelligent way and a confident way too. And so sometimes women struggle with their confidence in money matters because they haven't really been brought up, especially women in their prime. They haven't been brought up taught
Mhm.
that necessarily, right? Like maybe their brothers were.
So true, so true, so true. So for example, I mean, as you are speaking, right, in your podcast, solo podcast, like you said, so what are certain things that you could impart knowledge to our
Mm-hmm.
audience who are watching and also listening? And there'll be
Mm-hmm.
some reels and shorts will be cut by my team and all and posted all over. The big thing is like some three nuggets. If you were to give three superpower ideas, what would this be? Huh? If you don't mind.
Okay. So, nugget number one is to get your base, right? So, for women, we need to make sure we have a good financial base. And of course, that's about having a good emergency fund. So, having 6 months worth of emergency fund, get that in the bank, leave it there, right? So, if you're starting from nothing, if you haven't learned anything about money yet, that's
Yeah.
the first thing that you need to do. The
Mhm.
second thing is I'd like you to think about streams of income
Mhm.
rather than a big pile of money at the end of your life. I think
Mhm.
traditional financial planning has always been, and this was my experience when I went into a financial planner in my 30s. They said, okay, well, how long, do you think you're going to live? Well,
Mhm.
how do you answer that question?
Yeah. We
No,
don't know.
right? uh, and then they're like, well, how much money do you think you're going to need at
Yeah.
the end of your life? And I was like, I don't know. And of course, they've got their, financially fancy software programs, and they like throw things in there and be like, oh, we think you're going to need $2 million at the end of your life. Well, is that true? We don't know. Like, it's so far in the future. We have no idea how big the pile of money needs to be so we don't run out. And so that's very risky planning. So instead, what I teach is how to generate multiple streams of income. And you do that through having your own business and investing. Right. So those two things are super important for women, especially, to get going and get started. I have a friend, Linda. She was 50 when she started learning about finances and didn't know very much, started just reading tons of books and trying to figure it out. And about 55, like mid 50s, she's like, okay, I think I can start doing some things. And so she read some entrepreneurship books and she loved to garden. So she went out and she started selling her produce at farmers markets. That went very well. And then she's like, what else? That was income stream number one. And then she's trying to figure out, okay, what's the next thing I can do? And she started an online blog and started teaching classes about how to garden. Income stream number two. Yeah. Then she used all that money and she started investing it into real estate and stocks. Income stream number three. So now she has created all these income streams. So that's super important. And then the third nugget that I teach about is alternative investing. I know it sounds scary sometimes, but again, traditional financial planning is just stock market investing, right? If you go to a traditional financial planner, that's all they can do, right? Yep, that's all they can do. But you know what's so fun is alternative investments. You open up a whole new world of impact once you step outside of the stock market, because I don't feel like I have very much impact in the stock market by investing in Apple. I could make money with that, right? But that's only like surface level for me. Making money is surface level. I want impact. I want to go deeper. So you can invest in, of course, I invest a lot in real estate, right? And in multifamily real estate, we can affect three things. We can have a financial return. We can have a social return by creating a better, safer, nicer community for our residents and the children that live there, and supporting programs, things we got. And then we can create more environmental returns by upgrading the lighting so it's not an energy suck, fixing all the leaks, the leaky faucets so it's not leaking water everywhere. And it just makes it a really amazing type of investment rather than not knowing what's happening in Apple. And there's really cool investments, like you can invest in a fund that supports women entrepreneurs in Africa. If that's what your passion is, right? You can invest in things that support sex trafficking and like getting rid of sex trafficking and all of those things. Once you step outside of your little, tiny box, and the whole world opens up, and it's so fun.
That's wonderful. Wonderful. Also, I'm sure you're talking like the retirement funds, how we can self-direct them also.
Yes.
A lot of times
100%.
stuck in the stock market, but it's so easy to get them into custodian. There are so many different custodians where they could really be then self-directed or checkbook control, I call it, right? So that they could invest into different facets. Also, I know alternative investments. I'm sure you are able to talk about, well, laundromats. I don't know. Real estate is real estate, but also senior assisted living, like you said, you have a partnership in it or something in the 65 unit. So how did you get to that? Did you invest with an operator, or are you passive investor or active, or how?
Yeah, so the assisted living one is another impact investment. So, a quick story, my husband's grandmother suffered from Alzheimer's disease, and his parents made the decision to bring her into their home and care for her in their home.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you know much about Alzheimer's, it's just a heartbreaking disease
Very much.
because they become somebody different. They're not themselves.
Yeah,
They
because
don't recognize anybody. It's just very, very difficult, and they become and unfortunately, like his grandmother became very angry and was challenging to manage her care,
Mhm.
and it just broke my heart. And I would go and grandma sit her every once in a while so his parents could get away and take care of what they needed to do. But it was challenging, and it broke my heart in a way that I was like, there's got to be a better way to take care of our elders who are suffering from this disease. And so when I stumbled upon this investment opportunity, assisted living, through my networking in the multifamily space, I found a woman here in Texas who
Mm.
was also branching out into assisted living. And she said, "Hey, Camilla, do you want to come and check out this investment and maybe be a general partner and help raise capital for it and help do some of the management?" And I said,
Nice.
"Yes, I would love to see it." So she took me to walk through one of the operator's current assisted living. And I'm going to get emotional right now. Like it was an emotional experience for me
Mm.
because I saw the level of care, and they had very focused Alzheimer's units, like memory care units,
Yeah.
and the people there, the staff, like the whole feeling was one of awe and amazement, and it was just beautiful. It was a beautiful experience. And so
Yeah.
I said, yes, absolutely, I want to support this. And so then I helped raise a couple $1 million for that project.
Beautiful.
And it's going well. Like the operator has just a heart of gold. His staff has a heart of gold, and I'm just so happy to support impact investments like that.
I love it. I love it. I don't know if you knew that I've been building with my partner
Yes.
assisted livings. Yeah, yeah. In
Mhm.
Florida, he's got several of them in Michigan. We are opening up one in Virginia, Williamsburg, Virginia, and Punta Gorda. We opened Cape Coral, Palm, all those places. But you're right. I mean, there is a huge need for
Yep.
assisted living and memory care, and which for the next 30 years there is going to be
Yep.
huge, need
Hmm.
for that. Well, let me ask you a question. What other things you might like to talk about, that you want to impart knowledge to the viewers of my audience?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things I'm also passionate about is educating the youth, and I know you are as well.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so I'll tell you, quick story about my 5 children.
Yeah.
So our children, I've tried very hard to be intentional about teaching them about money and finances, and really to create a healthy money mindset
Mm-hmm.
that to not I always teach, don't view money as the goal or the enemy, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
neither one. It's neither one. It's
Mm-hmm.
just simply a tool. It flows in your life. Be grateful for that. It flows
Yes.
out from your life. Be grateful for that because it
Yes.
returns back other things to you, right?
So true.
Like food, right? The money flows out and I get a donut. I'm happy. So it's very good.
Yeah.
So money is just this tool that kind of flows in and out, and that's what we're teaching our children. But we're also teaching them to be smart with their money. And so one of the things that we did is we will flip a house every once in a while with our children to teach them the value of hard work.
Mm-hmm.
And we have very intentional investing conversations with them about real estate, because real estate is our investment of choice. So we really believe in it and think it's a very
Sure.
strong investment.
Totally.
And so all 5 children can sheetrock, they can do tile and baseboards and all of
Yes.
these things.
Yes. Yes. I love
And
it.
so they've got some handy skills that they could be used
Mm-hmm.
for the future. But also, one of the houses that we flipped, we made $100,000 on it, which
Ah.
was awesome. And we were excited about that. And so we used an income shifting tax strategy, which is another little golden nugget for your listeners. You can shift income to your children. So you can shift at the time it was 12,000 for us. It keeps going up every year.
It's
It's probably
16, I
13
think, or
something.
something
Is it
now. Yeah.
16
Per
this year?
year.
Oh my
I
gosh.
think per year.
Okay. Yeah,
As a
per year
gift.
you can
As a
shift
gift. Yeah.
the income. Yes. And then that's not taxable, right? And so
Mhm.
we shifted 60,000 because we have 5 children times 12,000, right?
Mhm.
So we could shift 60,000 to them. And and so 12,000 per child. Now you can imagine the children's eyeballs like,
Yeah.
whoa, I'm
Yes.
rich. I have
Yes.
so much
Yes.
money.
So
So we
true.
told them, I said, okay, children, you're going to do a couple things with this money. So number one is to give. So we asked the children to give 10% of everything
Sure.
that they get, right?
Lovely. Lovely.
Then the next thing is $10,000 of that, 10,000 of your 12 is going to be set aside for a future real estate investment.
Yes.
And then the rest of the money is yours to buy something cool, right? My son bought himself a mountain bike. He's very happy about it. He loves it. He loves to ride it. And so they could make it use it because they did work really hard to flip that house, and it was uncomfortable. And don't get the idea that my kids were always happy about it either, right? They're normal teenagers.
Yeah.
50% of the time they're mad about it, and 50% they're kind of okay, right? It's like they're normal teenagers. But then so each kid had $10,000. So as a family, we went searching for a vacation home to purchase, and we bought a cabin that's located in a vacation area, and each kid invested 10,000, and then mom and dad put in the rest to purchase this cabin. And now each child is 10% owner in the cabin. And now they've turned their active income into passive income because we rent it out, and it's a short-term rental. So not only are they getting cash flow from that asset, but they are building their net worth. So today their net worth is 17,000 because it's increased in value, right?
Awesome.
And then every year we go to the cabin and over the holiday time, and we have our business meeting with the kids where we show them the P&L, and we talk them through how a P&L works. And oh, Vinney, it was so funny because the first time we did this, the kids started needling me with questions because they're like, Mom, why was the water bill so high in May? And I was like, Mom didn't really check on that during May, so I have no idea. So they're just needling me like, well, this is wrong. And then we make decisions as a family. Well, how can we add value to this cabin? So one of the things we did just this past summer is we built a big tree house in the back, in the trees right by the cabin to stand out and to attract more guests. And the strategy is working, and then one of my daughters runs the Airbnb for it. So she's learning how to do that. She's a teenager. They're attached to their phones. They can do that, right? And so that's, things that we do, that I've been doing with my children. Wonderful. And the other funny thing is I get parents to call me up and be like, Camilla, can you take my kid on as another kid of yours for the summer? Can you take them with you and have them work at your houses?
Yeah, exactly. Life skills.
Sure.
I mean, they will go so far away, in their career and their lives, because and you're making memories too, if you think about it.
Yes, for sure.
This is something etched in stone about how they all work together. And the big thing came about 100,000 profit. Is pretty good, substantial money that teaches them so much that they can, implement. Thanks for sharing that. That was lovely. That was lovely. How can people reach you, if they want to?
I have a unique name, Camilla Jeffs. I think I might be the only Camilla Jeffs in the world. So it's easy to find me on LinkedIn, just using my name, or Facebook or Instagram, all of those things. Or you can, listen to my podcast, Quiet Wealth, where I teach you lots of step-by-step strategies on how to do all these things that I've done, because, I'm just a few steps ahead of most people. And one of my goals in life is to just stick my hand back and help a couple people along the way. I'll blaze the trail. You come along.
You're doing a great job, and God bless you. And I'm so glad you came. And, we hung out together on the podcast. Thanks so much. And hi, guys. If you really liked the show and you liked, the content and the nuggets, please pass it along, and also give it 5-star reviews if you can on iTunes. That really helps a lot, to get rising up and so forth. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next show very soon. All righty. Thank you so much.